So, good morning. In the last class, we have discussed about the open loop configuration and the closed loop configuration of operation amplifier. Now, today we are going to discuss about few terms related to operation amplifier. So, the first term that I will discuss today is the input offset voltage. Input offset voltage. As the name is input offset voltage, it is the voltage that is present at the input terminals of an operation amplifier. As we know, in an operational amplifier we have two input terminals. One is inverting, another is the non-inverting terminal. If I take the case of an open loop, then the output will be equal to A times the difference of these two voltages. If I assume it to be V1 and V2 and the difference is VID, then definitely my output will be A times, that is gain, into VID, right? Even when we don't apply any input to these two terminals, for example, if I for example ground these two input terminals, still due to the mismatch in the biasing voltages at the two input of the operation amplifier, that is, we know the first stage in an operation amplifier is the differential stage. We have studied this one, the block diagram. So this is the first stage of an operation amplifier, that is the differential one, where we have two transistors. So now no two transistors can be same. It means definitely the voltages that has been applied at the inputs of this or available at the input of these two terminals will cannot be same. It means there will be always a difference between these two voltages, that is V1 and V2. So we can say that this input offset voltage, or we can define it as, it is defined as the differential input voltage input voltage that exists between the between the two input terminals of an op-amp without any external inputs, without any external inputs applied. Or it is also, we will discuss it another way also. First, if we look at this, it is, as I am saying, it is simply the differential input voltages that will exist between the two input terminals of an op-amp when we are not applying an input. As you can see, the inputs applied here are 0, no external inputs are applied, but still some voltages will flow inside it due to the biasing of this operation amplifier. Being the first stage as a differential stage, it means it will consist of two transistors. These two transistors cannot be same. It means the voltages that will be available at the input terminals will be different, and due to this there will be some difference in the voltage, or you can say VID will not be equal to 0 in this case. When VID is not equal to 0, then definitely it will be amplified with a very large gain. In the case of ideal op-amp, we know this gain is infinity, or in the case of practical op-amp also, you know, it is around 10 raised to power 6. So this A is very high. So even a very microvolt of voltage that is equal to VID of 1 microvolt also, you can see, will be amplified and give you an output equal to 10 raised to power 6 into 1 microvolts, which is equal to 1 volt. So you will find an output voltage equal to 1 volt. So this is our input offset voltage. In the other definition, you can also see this. It is the amount of the input voltage that should be applied between the two input terminals in order to force force the output voltage to 0. Now let's try to understand this input offset voltage with another definition. As I said, that it can be the amount of the input voltage that should be applied to the either of these two input terminals in order to force output to be zero. As I said कि एक वोल्टेज आपकी हमेशा ही ज़्यादा होगी. मान लीजिए आपने ये दोनों ग्राउंड से कनेक्ट किया बट ड्यू टू द इंटरनल बाइसिंग एक ज़्यादा है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस V1 is greater than V2. This V1 is greater than V2. So what I will do, I will apply a voltage over here. For example, let us suppose this is that voltage, positive and negative. I will apply the voltage equal to VIO, that is the input offset voltage, which is higher in the case of V1. So now if I see these two voltages, when I am going to add, V2 is now replaced with V2 plus VIO, then definitely it will come out to be equal to V1. And when it will become equal to V1, then definitely your difference of the voltage VID will be reduced to 0, and when it will multiply it with A, the output will remain to be 0. So you will get the output voltage 0 volts. So in the other way, we can also say that it is that voltage that must be applied to either of the input terminals to force your output to be, or output voltage to be 0, is called as input offset voltage. Now it is not present in all the operational amplifiers. In few operational amplifiers we have to provide the compensating network. For example, in 741 we already have a voltage offset null circuit to overcome this problem. Otherwise we always get, if we don't have a compensating network for this input offset voltage, we will get the different output voltages, or when we are not applying any input, then also we are getting some output. So to overcome that, we need a compensating network. So let's next discuss that compensating network. So next one is the op-amp with offset voltage compensating network. Offset voltage compensating network. So what we do, we apply a rheostat to one of the terminals of an operational amplifier like this. Example, this is my operational amplifier with let this be positive, this be negative. Now positive is connected to ground and negative is connected to few resistors over here. This is grounded, this is one more resistor, and this is a rheostat or a potentiometer. We can connect this to either ground or to minus VEE, this to plus VCC, and this is connected somewhere over here. This resistance is RA, this let it be RB, and this be RC, right? This voltage will be V2, this voltage will be V1, and the output will be available here. And our target over here is to obtain this output equal to 0 volts. You can have here plus VCC or minus VEE, that is the biasing voltages of this operation amplifier. So what we are going to do here, we are going to connect a rheostat or a potentiometer across an inverting terminal. Over here in this inverter terminal we have connected this. Now when we shift this one to either to the upper side or the lower side, automatically the voltage across it will be changed. You will find the voltage across this resistor RB and RA will be changed, and you will find a change in the voltage V2. With a change in the voltage V2, you can adjust it either to the positive voltage or to the negative. For example, if your V2 is greater than V1 in the initial stage, then you can shift this value in such a way that V2 will be reduced. When you will reduce V2, definitely V2 will come down and V2 will become equal to V1, and at that point we will get our output voltage equal to 0 volt. In the other case, when we have V1 greater than V2, then what you will do, we will shift it to the upper side, or the voltage across the V2 will increase. Now V2 will increase, due to that V1 will again become equal to V2, and the output voltage will again come out equal to 0 volt, right? This is a very simple compensating network that we use with the op-amps, which does not come with the pre-existed, you can say, the null circuits. So how this works? So we will reduce it. Let's see how it can be reduced. I will try to reduce this part with the help of the Thevenin equivalent circuit, or with the help, or I will try to make here two voltages, calculate here two things, that is the Thevenin voltage and the Thevenin resistance. So over here we will see that this RA and RB and RC are connected, so I can reduce this circuitry like this, that I can have a maximum voltage. For example, if I assume here a voltage maximum which is due to this RA, because when this is being moved, definitely the voltage will change. I am assuming this voltage is equal to V max. So, and the Thevenin resistance over here will be R max, corresponding to that voltage V max. And we have a resistor there, RB is that resistor, so this will be my RB resistor. And then we have one more resistor RC connected over here. So this will be my circuit now, and this voltage across this RC is V2. Now from here, can I say that V2 will be equal to total resistance? This resistance is RC, so RC divided by the total resistance in the circuitry, that is R max plus RB plus RC, and this will be equal to the total voltage, that is equal to V max. So this will be the output voltage V2. Or you can see here that the other terminal is connected to ground, so this difference of the two input voltages can be written as VIO, that is the input offset voltage. So I can name it as V2 equal to VIO, because V1 is equal to 0 over here, or I will write here. As V1 is equal to 0 and V2 minus V1 is equal to VIO. This thing implies your V2 is equal to VIO. So I will substitute the value of V2. VIO will be equal to RC upon R maximum plus RB plus RC into V max, right? So this will be the equation of my Thevenin equivalent of this circuit. Now you can see here that I can make some assumptions, and those assumptions are that if RB is greater than R max and it is greater than RC, where normally R max is in the circuitry, if you see, I have denoted here RA, so this R max will come out to be around RA by 4, because we normally put it in the center for the maximum voltage. So RA by 2 will be in the upper part, RA by 2 in the lower part, and the parallel combination of RA by 2 parallel with RA by 2 will come out to be RA by 4. So over here we will have R maximum is almost equal to RA by 4. So we are most concerned over here about this assumption, that is RB is greater than R max is greater than RC. Now when this case will be there, definitely we can remove this R max and RC in the circuit. In this equation we will be left with only RB. So we will get here VIO equal to RC upon RB into V max. So this will be that voltage which will exist across these two terminals, or bit difference of these two voltages will be equal to RC into divided by RB into V max. Now this V max can be plus VCC or minus VE depending upon the polarity that we are setting. So we can say here VIO is equal to RC. I will simply write here V, voltage V upon RB. So if you shift it towards the positive side, look here, if you shift this value towards the positive side, then definitely this value over here, that is the VIO, will be changed to the positive side, and if you shift it to the negative side, it will change to the negative. So through that we will make this voltage V2 either positive or negative, or you can simply make this total voltage, that is V1 minus V2, equal to 0. So this is the one way of compensating for the input offset voltage. So I guess it is clear to you that what is an input offset voltage. It is nothing but the voltages that is available at the inputs terminals of an operation amplifier when no external inputs are applied, and the inputs that are available at this is due to the bias voltages or the DC voltages that we have applied for these two transistors. As the first stage is the differential input stage, it is important to remember here no two transistors can be same. It means these two transistors will have the different inputs at their terminals. Similarly, in the other way, you can also say that it is that input offset voltage which must be applied to either of the terminals of the operation amplifier to make your output voltage to be zero. That is also input offset. So we have to compensate it in few circuits of or in few op-amps like 741. We have already installed compensatory circuits, but if we don't have, we can have a circuitry like this in which we will connect our V2 voltage with a resistor RB and through our potentiometer with the RA, and which can be reduced through this Thevenin equivalent circuit. And by making an assumption that RB is greater than Rmax is greater than RC, you can see here that this VIO will become out to be equal to RC into RC divided by RB into Vmax, where Vmax is nothing but could be plus VCC or minus VEE. So we always take it in the mode form, right? So this is the first part, that is the input offset voltage. Now next we will discuss the input bias current. Input bias current. Now this input bias current is nothing but the sum of, or you can say the average of, the two input bias currents available at the, again, the differential stage of our operation amplifier. So I can define it as, it is defined as the average of the two input bias currents and let those bias currents be IB1 and IB2. So your input bias current IB will be equal to the average of these two, that is IB1 plus IB2 divided by 2, where you can say that IB1 is the current or the DC bias current flowing into the either of the terminal, maybe non-inverting terminal for example. So you can say DC bias current flowing into the, for example, non-inverting terminal, whereas IB2 will be, let us say it will be the DC bias current flowing into the inverting terminal, right? So these are the two bias currents of the transistor which are there in the input or first stage of an operation amplifier. So definitely, again, as no two transistors can be same in operation amplifier, no two transistors can be same. So definitely these two currents IB1 or non-inverting one was IB1, so it is IB2, and this one is IB1. So these two IB1 and IB2 cannot be same, but just we will assume here we will assume in this case, assume that IB1 is equal to IB2 and let it be equal to IB. So this is just an assumption to calculate few things. As earlier we have seen in the case of input offset voltage, we were not considering any bias current or any other effect. We have only considered this input offset effect. So it will be easy again here in the case of input bias current if I consider that there is current IB1 and IB2 whose values are equal to IB, and again the input offset effect is also overcome or it has been compensated. So by using these two assumptions, let's try to find the effect of input bias current on an operation amplifier and how we can remove it. So if I extend this diagram, I have used here IB1 and IB2, and this is giving me some output. So I will name this output in terms of my input bias. So I will write here VOIB, right? In the earlier case of VIO, here we have the input offset, that is VIO. So our output is represented as VOIO. So these are the few notations that we use uh, to give our outputs. Now let's discuss this VOIB. Now due to the difference in these input currents IB1 and IB2, although these values of IB1 and IB2 equal to IB is very small, it can cause a significant output offset voltage in the circuits having relatively large feedback resistors. Now in the earlier case also we have this feedback resistors, which is nothing but the okay, in the closed loop one we have discussed this. I will draw the diagram for you. In the closed loop, if I take the case of in closed loop configuration, we have studied it in the last class, that in the closed loop we have an operational amplifier in which a part of an output is fed back to the input. Let this be a resistor RL across which we are going to take an output. This one was, I think, RF. This is R1. This was, let us suppose, connected to ground. This is negative, this is positive, this is also connected to ground because we are not applying any input, but the bias currents are there. This IB2, it is IB1, right? Again the voltage over here is V1, this voltage was V2 as per earlier notations, and let us assume this current to be I, this current to be IF, and I'm not drawing the internal circuitry. For example, if I have to draw it, it is definitely a RI, here it is RO with some voltage source like this, so I'm not drawing every time all these things. So this is all obvious, as I'm considering here that this input offset is 0, so VID is equal to 0, so this will be equal to 0, right? Also one more important, as I'm taking here the output voltage only due to the input bias current, so I will write here VO into IB along with it, just to differentiate it. Now these IB currents are very small. These are in the range of around 100 nanoamperes, right? So to find this effect, let's try to find the output voltage due to these bias currents. V1 voltage is determined over here equal to 0 because IB1 is flowing, but there is no resistance over here. Due to the absence of the resistance, in this part, we can say that V1 will be equal to 0. Whereas look here, there is a V2 which is connected to through resistors R1 and RF. If I look here, this R1 is connected to one terminal is connected to ground, other is connected to V2. Similarly, if RF is seen, this is connected, one terminal is connected to V2 and the second terminal is connected to this R0. R0 is 0, means this is short. This is short over here because this is the ideal case. Also we have assumed that VID is equal to 0, that is input offset voltage is 0. It means this product is also equal to 0. It means this is also shorted. The potential source over here is equal to 0, so it is connected to ground. So look here, this RF terminal is also, one terminal is connected to ground, the other to V2. R1 one terminal is also connected to ground, other to V2. Can I say that R1 is in parallel with RF? And the total current flowing through this parallel combination, which is equal to I minus IF, it is equal to IB2. Or if I take this direction, this is minus IF. So can I say that minus IF is also entering here, I is also entering here, and this total current will be equal to IB2, which is entering inside this operation amplifier terminal or the inverting terminal. So from here, can I say that this parallel resistance into IB2 is equal to the voltage V2? Or from here I can say that V2 will be equal to the parallel combination of R1 and RF will be R1 RF upon R1 plus RF into IB2. So this is my, you can say, the conclusion from this diagram. I guess it is clear to you. So now let's try to find the KCL at node V2. So I will try to find KCL at node V2. So over here I will say it is equal to I plus minus of IF, which is equal to IB2. So this is the simple KCL. I will be from ground to V2, so it is 0 minus V2 by R1, 0 minus V2 by R1, whereas this minus will be taken out. IF will be from this voltage, that is your VOIB voltage, this voltage minus of V2 voltage, so it is minus outside the bracket VOIB minus, okay, if I am taking minus IF, then I will take positive over here, or if I take only IF, then I can take V2 minus VOIB. As I am taking minus IF, so it will be VOIB minus of V2 divided by RF, or the feedback resistor. And third one is the IB2. So if I assume this RI also, although I don't need to use because RI is very very large, so it will come out to be 0, but still if I use it later I will reduce it to 0, so it will come out to be equal to, but it will be VB upon, because this is V2, the current flowing is this, in this branch is IB2, it is going to ground, so it is V2 minus 0 by RI, V2 minus 0 by RI. Now let's try to solve it. So by solving these terms, I can say that VOIB divided by RF, it is equal to V2 is taken out from all the rest of the terms, it will be 1 by R1 plus 1 by RF plus 1 by RI. And again, then now I can say that RI is almost equal to infinity. This thing implies 1 by RI is almost equal to 0. So from here you can say that VOIB divided by RF, it is equal to V2 into R1 plus RF upon R1 RF. So this will be my term. So when I will substitute this in, or you can say here by substituting the value of V2 which we have obtained in the above diagram, this one here, when I substitute this value of V2 in my below equation, then I will get here as V2 is equal to R1 RF upon R1 plus RF of IB2. Putting this value over here, we get VOIB upon RF is equal to R1 RF upon R1 plus RF into R1 plus RF upon R1 RF into IB2. And from here you can easily cancel out these terms, and you will find here that your output voltage due to the input bias current VOIB, it is equal to RF times the base current IB2 to that inverting terminal. So it means now this base current is multiplied with this factor of RF. So to overcome it, now this is the extra voltage which is coming. So to overcome it or to eliminate it, we need to have this much voltage or this much voltage exactly at the other terminal also. So how we will do that? So we will apply a ROM. ROM is nothing but a compensating resistor to overcome the voltage at the other terminal. So let us see how we can do that. So in this case, due to this feedback resistors or due to this RF and R1, we are getting here the voltage V2 due to this IB2. So we want some resistance across this terminal also, or at this non-inverting terminal also. so that the whatever the voltage that has been developed due to this IB2 and this feedback resistor RF, that must be available at the non-inverting terminal also, so that their effects can be eliminated. So next we can see here, to eliminate VOIB, we have to devise some scheme at the input by which V1 can be made equal to V2. So what we will do, we will have a circuit now. This is inverting, this is non-inverting. Inverting will remain as it is. VOIB. This is my feedback resistor RF. This is R1. This is grounded. This is V2. Now here we are going to have one more resistor. I don't know right now what should be the value, so I will write here R1 and this is value V1. Now due to this V2 we had this VOIB, so earlier we have obtained it, that is V2 is equal to RF into IB. RP, it was RP, parallel combination of R1 and RF, where RP was equal to R1 in parallel with RF. Now we want this voltage V1 to be equal to that. We have assumed that these two currents IB2 and IB1 are same. This is IB2, this is IB1 for example. So we have already assumed these to be equal. So can we say from this diagram that V1 must be equal to ROM into IB, because this is the current IB that is flowing in this branch and it is multiplying with this resistor R1. Now to make my VOIB equal to 0, to make VOIB equal to 0, can I say that V1 must be equal to V2, or simply what is V2 or V1 is ROM into IB, V is equal to V2, V2 is RP into IB. So from here you can say that ROM must be equal to RP, where RP is equal to, what was RP? It is a parallel combination of R1 and RF. So R1 into RF upon R1 plus RF. So this is the compensating network that we have to apply at the non-inverting terminal to overcome the effect of input bias current at the inverting terminal, right? And that's why in some of the books you will find this ROM resistor also referred as the minimizing resistor. So we call it as sometimes minimizing resistor, because it is minimizing the effect of the IB current at the inverting terminal. V2 पे जो आपका इफेक्ट पड़ रहा था, if you see at this diagram, this one, जो ये V2 पे इफेक्ट आ रहा था due to this IB2 because of this RF also, this has been overcome by the addition of one resistor over here which was absent earlier. So now we have added this resistor ROM which has overcome it, and that's why it is also called as the minimizing resistor, right? So now third one that we will discuss today is the input offset current. Now what is this input offset current? Now in the first case we have discussed input offset voltage. We said the currents are all same, but only the biasing voltages made the difference between the two voltages at the inverting and the non-inverting terminal. In the second case we have said that there is input bias current. These currents are the two different currents, IB1 and IB2, which are there at the input terminals of an operation amplifier. So just for an assumption, we have assumed equal to IB. So we said the input bias current is nothing but the average of these two currents, IB1 plus IB2 by 2. Now in the third case, we are going to discuss about input offset current. Now we are removing our assumption that IB1 is not equal to IB2. It means the difference of these two currents is called as the input offset current. So let us discuss the third one. Input offset current. So in some of the books you will find a definition that it is an indication. It is an indication of the degree of mismatch between the two input currents. So what are those two input currents? Those are IB1 and IB2. So input offset current IIO will be equal to the magnitude of IB1 minus IB2, as either of these two can be greater. So it is simply a degree of mismatch, so we take it a magnitude of this, we take only the positive value. So now we will try to find the values of output voltage due to this IB1 and IB2. So let me draw the diagram, or simply the compensating diagram, because again over here we are going to assume that there is no effect of VIO, no effect of VIO. Also there is no effect of base current. So when we are assuming these two has been overcome, then definitely the circuit will be like this. This is negative, this is positive. We have here a feedback circuit. This is the inverting one. This resistance is RF. This is R1. This ground. Let this voltage is V1, and this is the voltage R2, which has been now connected with a minimizing resistor that is equal to ROM. Right, and this voltage was okay. This was V1. This was V2. Right. So this was my circuit, early circuit, and now the output voltage here is equal to VOIO, that is input offset current के कारण जो voltage है, that is VO. So that's why I named it as VOIIO. Now in a case like this, output offset voltage can be expressed as a function of input offset currents. What are those input offset currents? Let that be IB1, and this will be IB2. Right? Or in the earlier case we have used this term as IB2, so you can use it like that. It is IB1. The result will remain the same, there will be no effect on it, right? So this is IB2 and this is IB1. Now VIO is 0, so definitely, as we have already, there is no effect of VIO, as VIO is equal to 0. So this thing implies that our V1, what will the value of V1? It is this current into this resistance, so it will be IB1 into R1. And what is the value of V2? V2 is this current IB2, and as we have already discussed, this R1 and RF, it is a parallel combination. So V2 is equal to IB2 into the parallel combination, which we have already denoted as RP, where ROM was equal to RP equal to R1 RF upon R1 plus RF. Right. So now what we will do here, we will try to find the output voltage due to this V1 and V2. Now look here, this V1 and V2 was in the previous case, in the input bias current, they were same because we have assumed IB1 equal to IB2. But in the case of input offset current, we don't assume these to be equal to 0. It means definitely the output voltage due to the V1 and due to the V2 will be different, and they will be subtracted and the output definitely, because one is applied at the inverting terminal, other at the non-inverting terminal, so the overall output will be minimized one, which we can see in the form of VOIIO. So how we find the output voltage when we have more than one inputs? Definitely we will make use of the superposition theorem. First we will apply the input at the inverting terminal, then we will apply the input at the non-inverting terminal. So by using superposition theorem, by using superposition theorem, we will find output offset voltage, output offset voltage due to V1 and V2, and it will be in terms of definitely the bias currents, in terms of IB1, IB2 and RF. So this is what we are going to do. So I will make use of my earlier calculations. So in the last topic, or in this input bias current, we have already calculated that VOIB2, VOIB2 means the output voltage due to the IB2 part. It was equal to minus RF into IB2. So if I go back and show you, you can see here VOIB was calculated over there equal to RF into IB2, but it was the complete output. It means we have already compensated for the negative in inverting terminal, but over here, as I am using the superposition theorem, so I am assuming my non-inverting terminal to be 0 and inverting terminal to be there. So I will say here that my VOIB2, it is equal to RF into IB2, but with the negative sign, right? When I am considering my terminal input at the inverting only, inverting के case में it is due to V2 only. Now next, if I take non-inverting terminal input, I guess you all know how to do the superposition, how to apply the superposition. We take only one input and assume our other to be equal to 0. So in the second case, when I am going to consider the non-inverting one, I will take only this input V1 and I will assume the input V2 is equal to 0. So it means this effect will be, and there will be no effect of this voltage now, only V1 effect will be there. So in the non-inverting case, we will have the output voltage VOIB1. I have named them different outputs, VOIB1 and IB2. When I was considering this one, so the output will be VOIB1, and when I was considering the V2, it was VOIB2. So just to differentiate these two things. So VOIB1 will be equal to, what with the value of the VOIB1? If the input voltage over here is V1, then definitely the output will be, you can find it with the help of your closed loop non-inverting configuration gain. So over there you have studied the gain is equal to 1 plus RF by R1. So gain over here is 1 plus RF by R1. It means, can I say VOIB1 is equal to 1 plus RF by R1 into my input. What is my input here? So input over here is V1. This is my input. So over here I can write it is equal to V1 into 1 plus RF by R1. V1 into 1 plus RF by R1. So now again we can find here that V1 is already defined. We have already calculated V1. What was V1? V1 was equal to IB1 into R1. And what is ROM? It is R1 RF upon R1 plus RF. So I will substitute this value. So it will come out to be IB1 into IB1 into R1. R1 की value put करते हैं R1 RF upon R1 plus RF into R1 RF upon R1 plus RF into 1 plus RF by R1. I will take the LCM here. It will be R1 plus RF upon R1. So this will be cancelled out, R1 will be cancelled out with this one. I will left with only IB1 into RF. So we have obtained the output voltages VOIB1 and VOIB2, or simply the output voltages due to the base current. Now these two voltages are different in the magnitude because one is applied at the inverting terminal and other is applied at the non-inverting terminal. It means definitely these two output voltages will cancel out each other. So in last I can say that my total output voltage VO IB, it is equal to VOIB1 plus VOIB2, and that is also visible because VOIB1 is the voltage, sorry, this one was VOIB1. So VOIB1 is nothing but IB1 into RF, whereas VOIB2 it is already obtained in the negative form, क्योंकि मैंने बोला था कि इन्वर्टिंग टर्मिनल पे कनेक्टेड है, तो इट मीन्स आउटपुट क्या आएगी नेगेटिव. सो इट इज ऑलरेडी इन द नेगेटिव फॉर्म माइनस आर एफ इंटू आई बी टू. So it is minus RF into IB2. Now RF can be taken common, so you can say VOIB is equal to IB1 minus of IB2. Right, so this is my total output voltage due to the bias currents. So I need to overcome it. It is only overcome by reducing the values of these base currents IB1 and IB2. Although we cannot eliminate it or make it equal to 0, but still we try to make it as small as possible. So these are the different output voltages that we have, and the output offset voltages that we have discussed. So in last I can sum up that the total output voltages in a operation amplifier, total output offset voltage can be written as VOOT, that is output, total output offset voltage, right? So it will be equal to, one is due to the input offset voltage denoted as VOO, that is the output offset. I will write here in right hand side also for a reference. One is V input offset. V input offset voltage at the input side, and the effect of it will be at the output as VOO. Then we have VIB, that is the voltage input bias current voltage, and the effect it will be VOIB, right? Next one is the VIIO, that is the voltage due to the input offset currents, and the effect of it will be VOIIO. So these are the three things we have discussed. This is for the input offset voltage, this is for the input bias currents, and third one input, sorry, this one is the input offset current, and this is for the input bias current. Sorry, this is input offset current, this is for the input bias current. So over here we can say VOOT is equal to VOO due to the input offset plus VOIB, that is the input bias current, that is the average of IB1 and IB2, and one more effect is there, that is due to the input offset currents, which is here input VOIIO. Right. So I think this is what we have studied, these three things. Sorry. I think I have written it wrong over here. It should be IIO. Right, this term is wrong. IIO, because these are for the input offset. Bias we have discussed earlier. Right, when we are going to add these two, so it is VOIIO. Biased we have discussed earlier. These were the bias currents. VOIB, that is equal to RFIB2. Right. So these are the three currents that we will find in an operation amplifier. We can reduce this output voltage by making compensating network. This can also be reduced with the help of the minimizing resistor. With the help of minimizing resistor we have overcome it. This is with the compensating network. compensating network. This we cannot reduce. We try to make these base currents to be as small as possible, right? So also sometimes it also happens that this value may be positive, this value may be negative. So when these two are in opposite polarities of opposite polarity, the overall value of the output offset, total output offset voltage may also reduce. But if these two are positive, then it may increase the total output offset voltage. So that's all for the today's lecture. Any doubts regarding it will be discussed in the next class. Thank you.